Tell me if you like it when I kiss on your lips. Guide you through the valley of an ocean. Make you breathe in slow motion. Read your mind and come explore the galaxy. Have a little taste of my gravy.
We are the people.
What's good, y'all? I'm your host, Asia.
And it's your host, BJ. And this is X the Script. What's up? What's
good,
going
y'all?
on?
Thank y'all for coming in today. I hope everybody's week is going well. I hope y'all had a great weekend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. A stress-free weekend. Time to just chill, relax.
That part.
Hey, just take a complete load off. But I just know how the weekend can be.
Yeah.
Sometimes the weekend you got to do house chores,
It
get
goes by
things
too
done around the
fast.
house, the kids.
Shoot, you ought to see this mountain of laundry that I got sitting on the couch right now. It is no joke. Okay?
Yeah, I was trying to lay it on the
Look
couch.
like a little mini Everest right now.
I was trying to lay on the couch next to you yesterday last night, and I was like, I guess I just used all these clothes as a leg rest. It wasn't no room or nothing, but I made it work.
I just couldn't pull my energy together, y'all, and just to make it happen. I just couldn't fester up the strength to get up. Like I was so tired yesterday. I just could not do it.
You know that's what I'm saying. You know how the weekend is. Sometimes you just want to just kick back. You don't even want to do nothing.
No,
Absolutely nothing.
It's not even that I don't want to do anything. It's the clothes in particular. I bet you. Anybody that wash clothes in the house that know exactly what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, as soon as you start washing, especially if you got kids, you wash all your clothes and you like, oh, I'm getting on top of it. I'm knocking it all out. All the laundry almost washed. I just got this one more load to put in the wash machine. Get that out the dryer. And then as soon as you get everything folded up, it don't be 2 days.
That's how it be around here.
And everything.
You be having a
Here come Trey back down with another big thing of laundry. And I'm like, where has this been?
and
in my closet.
And at this point, it's like you literally be going through like every article of clothing to make sure it's dirty. Because you like, I'm not washing this 2-3 days later and it ain't even dirty.
No, because there's nothing more annoying than like going through clothes and you putting clothes in the wash machine and you like, this the pile of dang on T-shirts that I folded up last week. Now they're just all balled up. Where this not even dirty.
Yeah, and you know when they dirty because we got a teenager. So you know when they dirty. If it still smell like laundry detergent, he ain't wore it.
No, he ain't wore it.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Said.
Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, yesterday you went and got your nails done. You went and got your toes done and everything, and
it was dire.
And you came back and you was like, babe, can you like smell how my toes smell? And you start putting your toes all in my face. So
no, that is not how that happened. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Well, what happened was I was rubbing on your leg, and then you was like, babe, you see my toes? Are they pretty? And I was like, yeah, they real pretty. I like that color. It just complements your skin just perfectly, just right.
And then what did you do?
And I started sniffing on them.
Okay, right. So I didn't put them in your face. You brought that on
I started smelling them first, and then I was like, I might need to taste one of these toes or something. Like the toes looking good.
I got them all dead and everything, y'all. Got them all together, okay? It's been a little minute, too.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you.
Nothing better than... You know what, though?
I'm trying
going to go get your nails done is not as relaxing as people might think that it might be. Like, I feel like I get stressed. They stress me out.
Really?
Yes, because...
It's always a relaxing time whenever I go get my feet done. You know how I do, babe.
Well,
I be in the chair like this.
Right, but that's all you get done. That's it. That's all you get.
I be sleep.
But for ladies that go like on a regular, because that's what they that's part of the maintenance that they want to upkeep and stuff. And you go get your nails done. It's like you always feel like they're in a hurry. They always in a rush. They always messing up your cuticles. Your fingers start bleeding. Like now I've stopped asking for like a manicure when I go every time I go, which is something you should have when you get your nails done. But I don't ask for it. I just tell you.
Yeah, because I remember one time you came home and your fingers was all... You had cuts and stuff on your fingers, and your fingers were sore. And
my fingers are hurting. They're sore. So now it's like, okay, I'll just ask for me a manicure like once every like 2 or 3 times I go because I just can't. I just can't. Like the times that they have cut my cuticles,
Yeah.
and that is especially with them little drills and stuff.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
It is not a joke. Like all
Yeah.
it take is one time.
I don't even really like them touching my fingers. I rather just do that all on my own. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not into all that complete pampering and everything. You know how I do
I
it.
mean, you should get manicures. Men should have manicures and get
I
their
manicure myself.
no.
I manage and
no.
manicure myself.
That's why when you go, you got all them chunky cuticles and stuff that they gotta, they that they have to cut off. Like every time you go, you end up going and you get a
Yeah.
manicure. You've never gotten a manicure, but one time.
Yeah,
and
one time. But I got manly hands. You know,
doesn't
like I said,
matter.
I'm-
That's
I'm
all the more
good.
reason why you should get a manicure is because you have manly hands. It's not feminine for a man to get a manicure.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
I just rather do it myself.
but it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not the same.
You know what I mean?
You're not the same.
Because when I do it, I ain't got to worry about them cutting me and
No.
doing all the stuff, getting upset because they ain't do it right. But I mean, the one time that they did do it, it was straight. So you know what I'm saying?
She did only just.
I just rather keep my extra $20. That's that's literally what it comes down to. I just want to keep my extra $20.
I don't want you to do nothing. I cut my own damn fingernails.
I do need a manicure.
Fuck all
but
of that.
I do need a manicure, but the hell with them.
I know that's right.
They're already getting them enough of your money anyway, so it's all you
Yeah.
know what I mean. It's all good.
Manicures, like they're ridiculously expensive to me at this point now. Like I think it's.
That's why I be thinking it's
Yeah.
pointless. You know what I mean?
I used to go every 2 weeks. Now I go like every 3 weeks. If I can push it to 3.5, I'd push it to 3.5. But that's just
Yeah.
because I feel like, y'all, I don't even go in my own city anymore. I drive out the city, like out of my way to go and find other nail salons now because I just feel like I've had the worst of the worst experiences with.
Yeah.
I've even tried to do my own, and don't press on nails ain't what that is for me either.
Oh yeah, you tried that too.
Them things just pop off
Y'all,
like.
we was on a live stream and Asia tried to hide her hands in the middle of a live stream because she had tapped her finger on the table and the nail popped off and she was like
That's happened more than once.
trying to make sure that nobody see it, but I saw it.
No, y'all seen us
Period.
on the movie channel, and I'll be talking and doing this, and then I'll start doing this. I'm like, oh, I forgot.
You got one nail missing.
I got like 2 nails missing on the end and stuff. So I'll be trying not to show my little hands and stuff. Cause look, people, you know how they just be trying to address us about everything that we doing and what we look like and what we, what color you got on today and who did what and where. And
Yeah.
So I gotta stay somewhat together when it comes to that because nails in particular for a lady, we already know you already know what you thinking when you see somebody's nails like that. You like, now what the hell?
Trust me.
Maybe they ain't gonna say nothing to you because they just see it. But
I understand now.
But we notice that it's like, now why in the hell?
I ain't understand that. I
She
didn't understand it
walking
when I
around
was
like that.
younger, as far as women and their nails. But trust me, I get it. I completely get it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So you having a good morning?
I am. How about you?
Did your morning get off to on a good note?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
me
slept
too.
a little bit better last night.
Yeah,
actually. I didn't
did
sleep the
too.
night before, y'all. Sleep.
Yeah, last night I actually got some sleep last night.
That's good.
So I'm feeling good,
Yeah.
y'all. It's the beginning of a new week,
It is.
and it's so important to get off on a good start. I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you, when you have them draggy days and
Well, especially
you
being
start
that
moping.
It's Monday too.
that's what I'm saying.
Y'all, it's Monday. Y'all probably not gonna get this episode till Tuesday, but it's Monday. for us.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you get the moping around.
You know how you feel on Mondays though.
Mhm.
We got started early today, so that means we're gonna have a good productive day today.
Yeah,
That's always the plan.
yeah,
When we
yeah.
start early, we have a good productive day. But it's like most of this, like sometimes we start early and then shit start fucking up, and it's just like, what a waste.
Yeah,
And then I'm just aggravated for the entire day because something happened, you know?
yeah. Well, I wanted to send you like a little nice message this morning. So when you woke up this morning, you just kind of had a nice little message just to kind of like
Y'all, let
make
me
you
read y'all
smile.
this text message.
It wasn't even nothing major. I was gonna actually keep on writing, but
I saw it and I was like, what is he doing?
right.
Let me read y'all this little sweet message. I woke up and BJ has sent this message to me, and he said, "You are my sunshine. You are my sunset. You are my calm place when I'm upset.
And then again, it's just dot afterwards. Like,
And then he
feeling-
said, working on my affirmations. I'm hey,
yeah, just
that's effort, babe.
hey, just a little something to kind of when you wake up when you woke up this morning and you saw it out, just to make you smile,
Goals.
just to have like open that little sunshine in your heart in the morning.
Give somebody
you know?
some inspiration today. Nothing better than waking up to a little sweet little message like that. That actually made me smile too. You weren't even in the room. You were upset. I don't know what you were doing actually. I just woke up and I looked at my phone and I saw you had sent that and I was like, oh, now how sweet is this?
I was just up reading stuff on my phone and then I was like, I think your alarm about to go off in like 2 minutes.
It did.
Let me send a quick message real fast.
It wasn't. I looked at I was like, he just sent that 2 minutes ago. Literally. I need your ass to stop trying to put me together.
Yeah, but some of those things are very important in a relationship, though.
It is.
You know, we was talking about that even like off air, like just in our own personal space. We was talking about things like that, like just doing things of appreciation.
Yeah.
You know?
So today, as y'all read the thumbnail, the not the thumbnail, but the title. So we get into like affirmations, like love languages in a relationship. Can you use like, I guess like love languages can be something like used and utilized in every type or a form of relationship, right?
yeah.
Like friendships,
Friendships,
family,
even like family, even in regards to like your
kids.
children.
Yeah,
know?
and I started thinking about that too. I was like, love language isn't just love language to like be in love with somebody or be in some type of actual relationship. I feel like
agree.
it's all relationships. Like if you utilized a lot of those things and exercise like, someone's love language, even through your children, like I feel like you can have so many more breakthroughs in a relationship and have like so much more like comfort in knowing what somebody and actually just knowing somebody in general. Like that's like another level of actually being able to read somebody and know what they want, like
Exactly.
to make them happy.
They missed the boat on that. Not really like paying attention to some of those signs as far as like things that they could do to really like speak that love language of the individual. And just like you were saying in regards to relationships, like love language is just universal.
It's definitely universal.
It's completely universal.
It's crazy that we're talking about this because we brought this up a while back and like and I'll be honest with y'all, like y'all we were arguing, okay? Because we were in the heat of like an argument. I'm like, you don't even like read into my love languages, the things that that I want. And BJ, I feel like when I said that, like it confused you, like not necessarily confused you, but it was just the way you looked at me where you were like, what the fuck? What? Like what? Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
But and the reason why I've kind of really started like honing into it is because, like things that I have been looking into and reading and really tapping into, like one of the things are like love languages and how you can form a bond with someone through their love language.
Mm-hmm.
So that prompted me to ask our community what their love language was. And I was very surprised by the results, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pull those up real quick.
And see what everybody had to say about it too.
Yeah, we had 6,400 votes on this. There's 5, if you don't know, there's 5 different types of love languages. One of them is acts of service, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. Okay, what would you say your love language is?
I would say mine.
Wait. Let me guess.
Go ahead.
Guess. Yours will be physical touch and acts of service.
Acts of service, physical touch, and words of affirmation.
Well, pick 2.
I'm giving you 3. I'm giving you 3. That's the way I need to be. That's the way I need to be loved.
Put them in order.
Okay, I'll put them in order. I would say words of affirmation.
Really?
Yeah, I would say words of affirmation.
Wow.
Acts of service, and then physical touch. No, words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service.
Now, what kind of services are you talking about here?
I need all the services. I need to be serviced.
Okay, you need to take that off your list. I knew you was gonna say something crazy. That's exactly why.
I need to be serviced.
I didn't.
But like acts of service, things of like just doing those things for you, like you know doing the laundry, like
Yeah.
taking a load off, like, oh, do you need your clothes taken to the cleaners? Let me take those to the cleaners for
Yeah.
you. Just the small things, I would
Right.
say, cooking dinner, just kind of catering to me a little bit. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. I think, and you're right on with that. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that you have to do anything like obviously sexual.
Mhm.
There's
Well, that
more
goes,
ways to show
well, yeah,
someone.
Yeah, acts of service is more like just paying attention to them. Just like if we're doing a lot of things, we got a lot of things going on, and you're like, hey, let me do this too, to kind of to take the load off your shoulders.
Yeah. I feel like mine,
Yeah.
my love language, I would definitely say quality time
Mm-hmm.
and words of affirmation and then acts of service. Maybe no, I'd say quality time, acts of service, and then words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm. Do me a better one. Out of all 5 of them, put them in order
For me,
as far as your order of importance. Yeah, because you need all 5 of them.
I feel like, yeah,
You need
definitely-
all 5.
So if I were to put it into order, I'd
Mhm.
say quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, and then receiving gifts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But let me tell you what the community said.
Okay.
23% out of 6,400 votes said their love language is acts of service.
Mm.
Only 1% said receiving gifts.
Wow.
1%
I'm surprised.
said that receiving gifts is their love language. Words of affirmation, 13%. 34%, which was the leader of all 5 love languages, was quality time. And 28% said physical touch.
Okay.
Okay.
So the leaders were quality time and physical touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm going to run down a little bit of like what people said, and we can talk about it. Someone said, I'm a certified massage therapist, and I can tell you that people really don't get touched enough. Physical contact is amazingly healing, and there are many, many modalities to choose from, so each person can find what works best for them.
They're always like, touching people, physical touch.
Yeah. But they touch people in a way where it's like, shoot, if you want to touch me like this, like, yeah, shoot, I'm going to lay here and let you touch me
Yeah.
for this reason, because shoot, it's just, it's a nice little stress reliever.
But it is important, because sometimes I feel like that's why people sometimes go get massages, just to get that physical interaction with somebody touching them, but touching them in a way where it's relaxing and they feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And relaxing, stress reliever, nothing like sexual or anything like that. But that's why some people go and get massages just for that particular reason.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but like if you
To
have
feel
to go
good
to a
physically.
masseuse just to be physically touched, like I don't know, then you need more.
Well, I'm just saying, you might have people that's not even in a relationship, so they're not constantly getting that intimate type of thing. And intimate doesn't always mean like sexual,
Yeah.
but just like in an intimate way where someone's just pampering to you, paying attention to the things that hurt on your body, and just making you feel good.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Someone said my top 2 love languages, I almost said top 3, but I can't remember what the third one is, are quality time and physical touch. My wife and I have the same top 2 love languages, except physical touch is number 1. Peace and love, sending y'all positive vibes this week. Ciao.
Woo, 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 woo. Ciao. That's good.
Someone said, I don't get enough words of affirmation, but I am always speaking it into others. That's a good way to look at it too, though, because I feel like
Words of affirmation,
what
yeah.
you put out into the universe and what you put out to people, like, affect people in a lot of ways. Like even with the circle of people that you surround yourself with every day at work. When you go to work and being around those people, it's just like your supervisor will give you words of affirmation when you get ready to go back from the team meeting. All right, you guys, let's knock
everybody
this out.
get pumped up. Yeah, we only got 4 hours left.
Yeah, but sometimes like
Let's hit our goal.
you really need that little bit of like positivity to kind of get you going and get you moving sometimes. And sometimes it takes just one person to just say the right things sometimes, and it makes your whole day change.
Especially when you talk about words of affirmation, because you
Yeah.
have so many people that in their mind sometimes they tell themselves things that kind of like put a damper on themselves
Oh yeah.
as far as like
oh yeah.
being unconfident, not feeling good on the inside. So when you have somebody that love you and you constantly speaking words of affirmation,
Right,
words of
right.
positivity, just like things like, babe, you my queen.
Yeah.
Babe, I really love you.
That
Babe,
means a lot.
I care for you.
That means a lot. It really does. And even though it's like little simple stuff like that. And I notice you do that. You always
look
tell
great
me
today.
how pretty I am. You tell me how beautiful I am. You
Babe, can you put your toe in my mouth?
no. See, no.
They pretty. They smell so good. Now I just need to taste one.
Ew, babe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is tough. Which language do I tend to show love in or receive love best in, and to or by whom? Words of affirmation has been a big one for me for receiving. Giving gifts and acts of service, which I often believe are interchangeable, is definitely the one I show love the most with. When he takes the grocery list off the table and takes care of it, my love language is a true partner.
Ooh. See? Things like that. That's
but
that's
see,
a
here's
great
the
act of
thing.
service right there.
Like, what do you
That's
think
good.
that's important about love languages, though? Like, why is that so important?
I think one, as far as like love language, is identifying with your partner what their love language is, because sometimes when you get in like relationships and a lot of people like your ideal of what a relationship is and what your ideal
Yeah.
love is for your partner might not be what their ideal love. Like, some people want to love somebody in the way that they want to love somebody, but sometimes you have to love that person how they want to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like identify with their language of love to like be able to actually like cater to them and love them properly in the way that they feel.
Do you think that there's an easy way to make that communication? Obviously, you could just tell somebody, right? Like, my love language is this, my love language is that. And then if they don't completely understand what you mean by that, then you have to take the steps, and maybe communicate that, because I feel like, obviously communication is another big like relationship factor. Like
communication rules the nation.
Yes. If there's no communication and even just speaking what it is that you want to somebody, sometimes like it can be missed because you can't assume
right
that they know exactly what it is that you're trying to talk about, or what it is that you want from them. And you can really miss out on a really good relationship or opportunity to really be the in with somebody. But I feel like the thing is that we learn those things with our children because they don't communicate that.
Right. And that's why you have to do, it is a such thing called like active listening, really just paying attention to everything by what your kids say, by what your partner say, by what they do, how they act. When you do certain things, because I feel like sometimes people don't active listen enough. Like, you be around your partner and they like, why don't you get me anything?
But that falls within the
why
category.
don't you do such and such and such? Why don't you tell me this? So you're already picking up on them right there when they're saying, why don't you tell me this and tell me that? Maybe their love language is words of affirmation. And so maybe that's something that you need to like look into more and pay more attention to just by things that they tell you.
And what they're because I guess that's the form of communication, but that's not the right way to communicate something like that. Obviously, like, you listen, right? Like, this is, probably even with us, like, I feel like, me telling you something that I want, like, sometimes I feel like, we get so caught up, obviously, with everything that we have going on that you don't even listen to me when I tell you stuff. And then when we get into arguments, it's like that stuff starts coming back up again.
Right.
But it's just like, okay. So how do we fix that? Like, how do we fix, those things from reoccurring within like our relationship? Because I feel like over time, like, we have learned, how to mode with each other because we've been together for so long. Like, and even to say that we've been together as long as we have, like, I still feel like I'm still learning, like, things about you
Right.
because obviously it changes.
Isn't that crazy?
Like things change, like people change, like, and the things that you wanted or that were important to you a long time ago change as you transition into manhood. Like as you get older and you start feeling like your wants and your needs also change.
Yeah.
So in essence, I feel like, maybe, at some point, like acts of service was, something that I thought like you really liked. Like that's something, how I would just go do things for you and bring you back stuff or buy you something and be like, babe, I got this for you, just to show you like I was thinking about you in a sense, to show like my love. But those things weren't things that were important to you,
See?
and
Yeah.
I had to learn that over time because I just thought, man, like I go somewhere and I do something and I'm really out for me, but then I come back with stuff for him, and then like I would feel like you just wouldn't be like, oh,
Maybe
like
maybe as appreciative or
Yeah.
as receptive to it than what you thought it was.
Yeah.
And that goes back to
But see, but that was my misunderstanding though. Like that's what I just thought that you would like. Like, and I learned over time that's not anything that really like impresses you or like that doesn't really phase you much.
and that's what goes along with like actually speaking somebody's love language and actually understanding how they want to be loved, and I feel like a lot of people get it misconstrued. I feel like people start loving them the way that I want to love you. No, I'm gonna get her a gift because that's what's gonna make her love me. That's what's gonna make her appreciative.
Right.
But sometimes that's not what's gonna make her appreciative. Maybe what's gonna make her more appreciative is words of affirmation when you come to her and tell her like, I appreciate you for doing X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by you. I love you.
But
You do things to inspire me,
so
like those types of things. I feel like just whatever speaks to their heart, that's what you should probably go with a lot more.
okay. Well, cause so sometimes I feel like even with those things, like some of these things go hand in hand. Quality time and words of affirmation to me are one of those things because I feel like when you have quality time, that's the time that you take to really show expression, to really listen in on what it is that they're talking about. Like, put down all your distractions and really focus in on what it is that your partner is talking about or what it is that they're, confiding in you about, and just listen to them. Like I feel like sometimes, especially once you've been in a relationship for so long, like the listening aspect of it is just like, oh, she's just talking about the same thing, or oh, he's just telling me about the same things. But those things mean big things. Like they're
pivotal,
significant to the person that's trying to express that. And when you're not being heard or you're not listening or showing that you're paying attention, like it's kind of like, so what's the point? And then time will go by. And then all that shit will start coming back up again, and then that's when, a person like the communication starts breaking down. It's just like, because I've already told you this,
Right.
I've already said it,
Right.
Like, and you get to the point where I don't even give a fuck. It leaves that breakdown and having a real quality relationship.
It just goes along with active listening, and I feel like in any relationship and in most relationships, pretty much all of them, it comes down to like that communication, but not just the communicating part, because people can communicate, but if you're not doing anything to actively act on that, then it's just going nowhere. If you're saying to me that like, I want this out of our relationship, I want to be able to do this, I want to spend more time together. Some men just be like, yeah, she probably just want to go to the movies and then I take her back home, and but no, it's not necessarily that. It's just like when we go out and we spend time together, like spending like real quality time, putting the phones away, sitting there and we really like, connecting on a real level, eye to eye contact, speaking and just really like me just being really into you for, because like I said, people work all day long. So just those couple of hours, 2-3 hours that y'all go out, like that quality time together is pivotal in a relationship, just so y'all don't like lose a connection.
Okay.
Because it's so easy out here to start losing that connection. And if you're not really actively listening and paying attention to, your partner's love language, then, eventually it's going to start going downward.
Okay.
It's going to go down on a downward spiral. Trust me.
So
Trust and believe.
let me give you okay. So words of affirmation. A person whose primary love language is words of affirmation will place a lot of importance on what you have to say to them. When it comes to the 5 love languages, words of affirmation is the most common love language, edging out quality time and acts of service. It also is the only love language that revolves around verbal expression. Words of affirmation are words that communicate your love, appreciation, and respect for another person. They are positive words and phrases used to uplift someone.
Yeah.
So,
and kind of
that was really important part. It's also the only love language that revolves around verbal expression. With words of affirmation, is it more that you're speaking positivity into somebody? Are you trying to give them reaffirmation that they are a great, like just for example, you look great today, you're beautiful today.
It can be an array of things. It can be such as like giving a compliment, penning a thank you note, sharing a heartfelt statement, writing a love letter. Even like just communicating frequently. Words of affirmation, love language, value communication. So sending a text message throughout the day to check in is an excellent way to show that you care.
We do that sometimes.
Like you're saying in regards to like the compliments and things that you would say to your partner. It could be things of like, I appreciate you when, I love you. I'm impressed when you do such and such and such. It meant so much to me when I'm proud of you. And even you can say like, you look great today. Like those are like phrases of like words of affirmation that really speak to someone's heart.
Is there anything that can prevent somebody from doing that or wanting to do that? Like if you feel like you don't want to speak any affirmation into anybody, like is it because you feel some type of way about them, or is it just not something you're good at? Or because sometimes I feel like people are not good at being expressive in how they feel. Like, whether it be a man or a woman, ladies probably would say like men are more capable of just holding in like their feelings about things.
Sometimes that can be like really, really deep rooted, like in regards to like a person being incapable of speaking words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Like take for instance, like your childhood. Like if you grew up in a home where there weren't very many affirmations, where your parents didn't reaffirm things to you, like telling you I love you.
So you don't know how to do that.
Telling you I appreciate you, or telling your children like be inspired, or telling your son, you're a young prince, you're gonna be a king one day, or telling your young daughter she a princess. Like if you grow up not really hearing those things that reaffirm who you are, to kind of spread and shine positivity on you, I think some people grow up not being incapable of having that skill set of being able to like show words of affirmation, because it was something that was never like a habit in their household growing up, and they never saw it. So if you have a person that's big on words of affirmation, but you've never grown up hearing that in the household, or growing up in a relationships where you hear that often,
you're right.
You kind of miss the boat on it. You don't really know how to do it. So it might be something you have to learn how to do.
It is. You're absolutely right about that, because I feel like, even as an adult, that's something that I still am having to work on, and that I have to work on, like especially with our kids.
Right.
I feel like our connection is different because you understand me better, but like the kids are innocent. You and I have had conversations about and I'm glad we're even talking about this, because I've had to work on that, because I didn't have that. Even now, like with the kids and stuff, like when I have them by themselves and stuff, I try to be mindful. Really, I think that's the
big
most
too,
important
like you said,
thing,
being
is just
mindful
being mindful that they deserve that, like they need that too. To your point, like coming out of a household where that was not a thing, like that was something that I had to learn and grow into and understand and really grasp in terms of like, those feelings with our kids and stuff, like over time. And that was something you actually brought to my attention early on. You were telling me that because it becomes very problematic as time goes on if you don't do those things, and it's something some people don't realize, like it is something that you have to work on. And that brings me to my next point, because even with physical touch,
same thing with that too.
Is definitely like primarily the reason why physical touch for me is probably at the bottom of my list, is because I was touched in so many ways that I wasn't comfortable with. That violated me as a little girl, that crossed boundaries that shouldn't have been crossed as a little girl, that made me feel uncomfortable. And I was put in that situation often with people in the house, and we've talked about this too, like physical touch is, something you really like to do. BJ is a very touchy, he's a very no, and I don't mean that like in a bad way. It's just like
right.
You like to hug, you like to grab, you like to rub, you like to do what men like to do with their wives, like and I don't fault you at all for that. But like I feel like I had a breakthrough with you one day when we were sitting down talking about it, and you was like, when you asked me like, why don't you, I could just tell that when I touch you sometimes, or I touch you a certain type of way, that it makes you uncomfortable. I don't think you knew completely that it made me uncomfortable, but you could tell that I didn't really care for it. And when I started telling you, like we just had a moment, that communication that day, and I really just broke down and told you, I was just like, I feel like I was touched so inappropriately so many times that now as an adult, like I don't like that. Like when you pop me on my butt, like I almost feel like I immediately get an attitude, or like it just brings me immediate discomfort.
Yeah.
And it's also another obstacle that I've had to overcome, and things that I've had to work on, because you're my husband. Like you're allowed to do those things. Like, but to me, I feel like it's not fair to you sometimes that you have to hold back how you feel or what you like to do to show like some type of, affection to
love.
me.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing him away, but that's the reason why physical touch is like at the bottom of my list. But it's something that, again, is another factor of like,
and you wouldn't know that, or I wouldn't know that without us actively communicating that, and really talking about it and getting down to like the root cause of certain things and why things are how they are.
Right.
And pretty much all 5 of these affirmations pretty much come down to sometimes your upbringing.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Your childhood.
As far as like act of service,
right.
quality time, words of affirmation. I feel like all of these love languages can affect you based on how you were raised and how you came up and things that you saw.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize like how much that stuff affects you, like as a person, like especially when it comes to like your relationship.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that, if you and your partner are struggling with trying to understand each other's love languages, I think that you really should consider like the upbringing, the deep root cause, like behind why that is what it is.
Because you have some people
like, and it took years. Like I feel like I just told you that like 2 or 3 years ago.
About 2 or 3 years or so.
We were sitting down and talking about it, and like I literally had BJ in tears because he was like, I didn't know, and I never knew really how to explain that to him, like how to express. Like I feel like I've told you a lot, but I never really went into like that. It happened so much, it just irritates me,
right?
Like, and nobody was there to stop it. When I could finally say I don't like that, I was real grown at that point.
And you're right about that, as far as like the deep rooted and like people getting down to the nitty gritty and really talking it out, trying to figure those things out.
You have to think about like, even to say like going back that far, like all the things that will arise from like situations like that, especially going into a childhood to growing up into a young adult, like, and everything else in between, when those things happened and you didn't like it, but you didn't know how to say stop because the person that was doing it had so much authority that even when somebody did it like back, and you didn't like it, it was like I still didn't know how to communicate that.
It gets in the way of like being able to actually communicate.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like you get it's almost like you regress as you get older because you wasn't really taught and shown these things. Even like when it comes down to like acts of service, like if you had somebody that wasn't doing certain things for you where you were growing up, like acts of service, just like how like in some households, like you have your mom and your dad, or somebody always gets up and folds the clothes or makes dinner, makes breakfast, and kind of caters and pamper you while you kind of doing your upbringing.
Yeah.
When you get a little older, it makes it harder for you to do that because it's all about like your internal belief system. Like if you haven't really like seen it a lot, you kind of grow up with a different belief system than somebody else who came up in a different household. That their love language is based on acts of service, words of affirmation, and physical touch.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that kind of like lack that growing up, maybe you'll kind of miss that boat just naturally because you just didn't see it growing up, so that you don't really have that skill set.
So how do you think
it
like
has to be
that's
something that you have to learn?
We have made a lot of progress in some of those things, but like we're not there yet.
Right.
And guys like smack their wives on the butt in the kitchen, and you cooking, and it's just like, that's what he likes. Like he like this my wife. Like let me slap that,
Smack
like
that.
yeah. But I feel like a woman, like the natural reaction, they might do something like throw it back at you, twerk, and be like, Don't be doing, like, like in that little moment, right? Like they don't care. They really probably don't even think twice about it if their husband do something like that, or they man, or whatever, right? I feel like you've started paying more attention about like when you do it and creating a safe place when you feel like it's okay for you to do stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
and
you're right on the money with that.
Most
Absolutely.
of the times, like obviously it's when we're together, when we're behind closed doors, when intimacy is probably more so on the horizon of taking place. But I don't know. I don't want you to feel like you have to, not be able to do those things sometimes. And I feel like it's not fair to you that you have to do that as a man. Like having a wife that you should be able to do that freely and not have any hesitation behind it. Obviously, I know you're not doing it to make me mad.
Right.
You're doing it because you just like it. You know what I mean? Like, let me squeeze a cheek or something and grab all that in the back my baby got. Baby got back.
Baby got back.
He be trying to get him a little squeezy, feely touch, And I don't fault you at all for that, but I've had to tell you, and I'll tell you again, like, I don't want you to feel like you can't touch me or you're not allowed or that it's going to make me uncomfortable, because that's something that I have to overcome and understand that you are my man. You are my husband. Like, I am yours, and it's hard. It's really hard, especially when, gosh, like you've been victimized by it and never spoke up about it, especially for people who don't talk about stuff like that because they are so used to protecting people, and then they end up with the long-term effects of feeling that, just like I have. It's a work in progress.
With love languages, it has to do with a lot of that, as far as like, what you actually believe in and what your skill set already is. I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to relationships, men and women, like you said, one, it comes down to communicating these things and, letting your partner know what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you need, what you don't need. And then from there, them like actively listening and then acting upon that and actually doing what they need to do to make sure that they're loving you properly and loving you the way that you want to be loved.
Yeah. When we go out of town and it's just us, like our quality time, and I tell you all the time, it's just like, I feel like those are like my best moments. That's when we connect the most, and that's when we can really like be into each other, obviously, because we have a lot going on.
Right.
And I'm not blaming that we have so much work to do that we can't find quality time with each other, because we can, and we've started trying to work on trying to make time for just ourselves.
Yeah, we've actually done that too a couple of times where we were like, okay, we're going to go out. We're finna go spend some time together. and we already got like a pretty busy schedule, so it's like we'll plan something out like 2 weeks from now, and we'll put it on the schedule, and then 2 weeks come around and we'll be doing something, and we were like, oh babe, we were supposed to go at 7 o'clock, and we missed it, and we didn't already paid for it.
We've done that.
Just something as simple as like having like a date night where we're going to go bowl together, and then we're going to go do like the axe throwing.
Yeah.
And we missed it, and
We
we were
missed
like, oh, that was yesterday.
I thought it was today. Like, yeah.
No, it was
completely forgot
yesterday.
about it, but
So like you said, with the quality time, it's very important. But with everybody, people have
Everybody
families,
has,
kids,
things
and you
going
get so
on.
busy. But you got to be able to like schedule it. You got to stick to it.
But
And
that's the
then-
reason why like people schedule in like nights that they're gonna have sex with each other. Like people really do that,
Right.
Because for that reason, it's like, okay, Wednesday. I know today is the day we going
Right.
in tonight because everything else is going on.
Because you're like, I know I left the hubby hanging like the last 6 days. I know Mother Nature, she coming around in like 4 more days.
Right.
Okay, let's make sure Tuesday night,
We getting it in.
11 p.m. Meet me here at Fern Square. 11 p.m. We done already took our showers and everything, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
why. But that's not something. And I've seen that on TV. Dr. Drew, Dr. Phil, like they've all said it. Like schedule in time to be with each other. To even if like especially when you have really really busy schedules and.
Yeah.
When there's kids involved, like there's a lot going on, especially with little kids.
It's like you got your schedule and your daily planner. Like,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna go do the laundry. Okay, we gotta go to a PTA meeting, and then 11 p.m. have sex.
Right.
Like, like you gotta like write it down,
Right.
stick to it. And
It's not unheard of. Like as weird as it sounds, like I guess doesn't really even sound weird to me at this point. But the first time I heard it, I was like, schedule it. Like really? But
now you see how people have to do that.
Yeah. Like quality time. Use active listening skills. Make eye contact. Develop a routine. Focus on quality and not quantity. Plan something different. Set limits on technology, which, put your phones down. And like I said, pay attention. When it comes to quality time is the one that centers around togetherness. It's all about expressing your love and affection with your undivided attention. When you're with your partner, put down your cell phone, turn off the tablet, and focus on them. And when you do that, it touches their heart in a way that really matters. They feel important, loved, and special, like you were intentional in setting aside time just for them.
It's very important for you to carve out time in your life to make time for these things. It's very, very important.
This brings me to my point. Like
on.
I feel like, a while back when I was saying, even on this last episode, and I was like, oh, what you want to do is just do the YouTube and not spend time with me. Like I feel like this is where we're slipping, like big. And I said that I'm like, we don't spend time with each other. Like I know Asian BJ, like like we're husband and wife, we're coworkers. We're also business partners. Like we see each other all the time, but it's just like, I do want to sit down and connect with you on a different level and be the husband and wife,
right.
Asian PJ,
exactly.
and not Asian BJ, the YouTubers. You know what I mean? Like, so when we do, like when I made reference to like when we go on vacation, I feel like that's when we can kind of forget about everything that we're doing. We're not locked in. We're not wrapped into anything because we can't do anything. We have limited access to stuff. And so this is when I feel like I'm most connected. We can hold hands. We can walk and listen to the waves of the ocean. Like we can really be in the moment. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that when we're gone, when we're away or out of town.
It can just be where we took 2 hours out of a Wednesday to go do something really, really quick and spend time. But one of the things that is like a pet peeve to me sometimes, like when I see people go out and you see like couples like spending time with each other or supposed to be spending time with each other, and the whole time while they're there, it's like they're on their phone. Why would y'all leave the house to go to a restaurant
and the whole time
and you're not even talking and connecting,
to each other?
Yeah. And you see it so much more now because of
Obviously.
the day and age that we living in,
It's
with
so addicting.
so much distraction, so much social media,
Yeah.
so much going on, where people aren't even connecting when they do take time to go to connect, to spend quality time together.
But I feel like that's an open can right there, because that goes along amongst friendships, that goes amongst families.
Exactly.
Like, even to say that, it's like social media has tainted the relationships of so many people, because it's so subjective, and it is so toxic in a way where it's just like you are so attached.
I literally had somebody tell me that too, where they were like, it's so toxic to where I literally had to just cleanse myself. I had to literally purge myself from social media altogether, just to kind of clear my mind and clear my head, and just focus on other things than just.
And it's not even just social media. I think it's just the fact that you have access to technology to look up what you want.
Access to information all day.
Anytime you start thinking about something, the scatterbrain moments when you're supposed to be locked in on something, like, and that's another thing.
Even
like,
when you're at work.
Yeah, absolutely. Even at work, it's just like, you got to put your phone down to work, but damn, how long do you put it down before you look over at it again?
That used to piss me off so much when I used to be at work, and I used to be sitting at my desk in my office, and I'm like on my phone, and then the manager will walk right by and be like, they'll look at you like,
get off that phone, okay, and do your damn job.
Right? Because if I pull up this report, you at the bottom of the totem pole on the team.
Ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing. Even for us, like, I feel like that for sure has been one thing that early on we suffer from, especially when we first started. And not only that, when you were working 2 jobs, we were always separated. So the time that we did have with each other was very minimal, because the only time that we would have together, we were trying to record videos, and then you would be gone for 2 or 3 days. So really, our quality time was spent talking on the phone.
Yeah.
And we really weren't even like connecting.
Literally for like a whole year.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Like, and
A
I was
whole
here,
year,
y'all.
yeah.
This went on for a year. BJ would come home.
A
And
year
the reason
plus.
why he could have come home every day, but you kind of couldn't, because he would leave one job and drive to another one and sit in the parking lot and sleep, because he would start that job. By the time he'd get home, he'd only have like an hour before you have to leave.
Yeah.
So it just made sense that he would just go to the parking lot and go to sleep so he could get rest.
Yeah.
And then he'd go into the job and then go back.
And then I'll talk to you on my break.
Yeah.
First break, talk to you on my lunch. And by the time my lunch, it's like 12 or 1 o'clock, so you finna go to sleep.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah. So
and then the next morning you'd get off at 7, and then you'd sleep. You'd go to your other job and sleep in the parking lot.
it's like from one to the next, but it goes to show you though, like, as far as like how busy people get, and you don't even have like time to even spend, like, your time is not even quality anymore, because time is fleeting. You don't even have enough time to even think.
Right. So it's like, even when we were here, like, we still weren't even getting time with each other, like, because you were still working and you would be sleeping, and then we'd get up and record videos. So it's like our first year and a half, like, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was really, even just to say, doing YouTube, like, it was hard, because we were so locked in.
Yeah, and that be the thing, like when you have people that are just so ambitious, and you so, like you said, so locked in and trying to accomplish a goal, whatever that goal may be, that quality time is very, very important, because we're only gonna be on this earth for so long, and it's like you gotta like make the most of it, and you really gotta make sure you spend quality time with quality people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Got
absolutely
to.
right. Right on with that.
For real.
Dang. Okay. And I know we already touched on physical touch, but physical touch could be kissing, holding hands, cuddling, skin to skin. It don't have to be the slapping on the ass thing. I was just saying. That was just
slap that. What's the Eminem
that was
song?
Just the one thing.
What's the Eminem song? Smack that. On the floor.
Smack that.
Yeah. But yeah, physical touch can be anything. It can be just simple as me just saying, babe, when you get out the shower, let me just give you a massage. Let me be your masseuse.
Yeah. Oh, you've done that too.
You
sure have. I was like, okay, then shoot, let me go. Hurry up, get on up out the shower. Then you gonna put some lotion on me and everything.
Exactly.
Bitch, I be doing the dang thing.
And I'm trying to tell you, it's important though.
To say that, like, going back to like what I was saying before, like that kind of stuff, like, I feel like if you start off like that, and then we start everything else, and you want to do the whole touchy feely, all that stuff, like, I feel like that's when it's okay. Like that's when I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because you done broke down those walls.
Yeah,
You
rather
just,
than you just coming out of nowhere and just trying to rub up all on me and touch me and scooch me in a corner or something like a little rabbit or something. And
a rabbit, like a rabid dog or something like that, like a stray dog, one of them like them old horny stray dogs or something like that.
yeah,
You know?
like I don't like don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not, and I don't necessarily prefer to do it that way either. I'm more of like a sensual type of physical touch person. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather be, like you said, be more like intimate, be more kind of slow, take your time type of
Yeah.
physical touch, and not even like take your time, but just make sure that you like hitting all the pleasurable spots as far as like physical touch. Something simple as like rubbing the back of your neck.
Yeah,
Just places
but you
that
can do
just places that
tickling.
feel
Tickling
good.
is another one. Sitting side by side is another form of physical touch. Like, and that's
Oh,
something
wow.
you can do like with a friend.
You get home from a long day at work. It's nothing like taking off those high heels and having a man rub on your feet and rub on your ankles and
Woo.
rub on your shins and your calf muscles, and then when you get done, say, "Babe, I'm finna make you dinner."
Ooh,
Like those are like those great acts of service.
come on now.
Because that's like physical touch and that's like an act of service. That's one of the foundational building blocks of a relationship is learning a love language. And I feel like a lot of people, even like with us, we never really like learned that early on.
No,
And
we didn't.
and like you said, if it's something that I like, a lot of men, they like physical touch.
Of course.
But it might but for a woman, her love language might not be, physical touch might not be at the top of her list. It might be
Right.
like 3, 4, or 5.
Right.
And for a man, it's like 1 for him. So if you're trying to force that all day long upon her, and she's like, "Yeah, I like it when you rub me, woo, woo, woo," but it'd be better if you took the trash out. It'd be better if you could get in the kitchen
Right,
and
cook something
do some
before I get
laundry.
home.
Go to the cleaners or
Yeah, run to the grocery store, take
Yeah.
the list, and go ahead and go get the stuff for me and,
Yeah.
and help a sister out.
And then for her, it might be words of affirmation, like trying to learn her love language rather than what you want.
Yeah, like I can remember like little things like, my mom used to always iron my dad's clothes at nighttime for him when he'd go to work, so she'd always iron his clothes, and she'd be like, I don't know why. She just was critical about ironing his clothes every night. And I would be like, why he can't iron his own damn clothes? Like, iron your own clothes,
Maybe-
But my mom, she did it every single night. Every single night she would iron his
Yeah.
shirts, like creasing the pants, like she'd lay his socks out, like everything.
And
But I
see,
feel like
that's
that
the
was
act of
something,
service
yeah,
right there.
that she just did for him. Like, and they didn't stay together, but obviously that didn't work. But
but it just goes to show you, as far as like an act of service
did it
or,
for
or
years.
something that
Yeah.
you religiously do. Maybe that's something that she learned growing up and saw
Right.
and saw often.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But to say like that kind of stuff is stuff I used to be keen to, and I'd be like, why you got to do it? Like, why he can't do it? But I think she just liked to do that for him. Like that was something she liked, and he liked that he could get up and just put on his clothes every day because they were already earned every day.
Yeah.
But
And I just feel like with those acts of service, when you're actively doing that, it just makes life easier.
yeah,
It makes life easier for both of y'all. So it
Yeah.
kind of takes the load off of the other person, and
I think it's just the thoughtfulness,
Exactly. And
mindfulness,
for them to feel that mindfulness, and for them to feel like you're doing
Exactly.
those acts of service and taking
Yeah.
that load off of them, it makes them more appreciative of you, and it also kind of raises your value stake as far as how valuable you are to them too.
Right,
You know?
right on. Hey, okay. So let's move on to receiving gifts.
Yeah, let's get into the
I want to
gifts.
talk about this and I was so excited to get into it because only 1% out of 6,400
I'm so
people.
surprised that only 1% of people said that receiving gifts.
But it's not
But what?
necessarily
But,
like
but
a
was
monetary
it? What does it
thing.
show you though?
Like just receive, like it's the thoughtfulness in receiving gifts. So a person with this love language might cherish the gift, however small, more than someone who speaks a different love language. Every time they see it, it serves as a reminder that they are loved. So, sending their partner flowers, even if it isn't a special occasion, buying their partner's favorite snack food while at the grocery store, getting their partner tickets to see their favorite musician or artist, giving their partner a gift certificate to a restaurant they've been wanting to try, having a coffee or lunch delivered to their partner while at work, or leaving a small gift for their partner to find when they wake up. So, I guess to some degree, when you think about receiving gifts, like the way it sounds, it's just like, yeah, I'm a receiver. I want to receive the gifts. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think, it is another form of expression to show you that, you just want somebody to do something extra to show that they actually care or love you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something valuable
Yeah.
or that you spent a lot of money or, those are nice, but it doesn't define the type of person that you are. It's just the gesture.
Yeah.
It's the thought.
It's definitely the gesture and the thought.
The thought that you even took a moment to think like, dang, my baby, this my girl favorite candy bar. Let me get this for her.
And it's just a symbol of love. My parents, they would buy me things and get me things, but it wasn't like overcompensating. Like they would give me things like for your birthday and when Christmas would come along, but it wasn't just period, just because, not all the time. No. So whenever they did do something and got me something, it definitely meant something. It wasn't just to do it just to do it.
But what's really odd about that is that I didn't feel like I had that expectation to you. Like I think for you, like early on, I would just be, like my thing was like I just felt like you weren't thoughtful. And I feel like, well, maybe actually, now that I'm sitting here thinking about that, talking it through, like maybe my expectation was that you would do the same for me. Like, because I can remember us talking about times like when we'd be in like a heated discussion and I'm like, you don't do anything for me. There's nothing in this closet that you've ever bought for me. Like you've da-da-da-da-da. And you. And I was waiting for you to do something for me like I was doing for you, but you didn't do that because your love language was different from mine.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and you're like, obviously that wasn't something we even thought about at the time.
No.
But
and
like
that's
thinking
crazy.
back on it, hindsight, that's really fucked up.
You see, yeah, but
like that's really fucked up. Like I can remember us having that argument, and I was like, you don't even like buy me anything. You don't even like you don't. I go places and I do these things for you and do da 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 da, and like my expectation was the same for you, and you never did it, and I was like,
wow, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I wouldn't say crazy.
It is crazy.
It's one of those eye-opening moments, or like one of those epiphanies. Like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. And
I didn't realize that.
And again, it goes back to like understanding and knowledge.
Man, that probably could have saved us so much like arguing,
headaches and stuff like that.
Headaches, arguing, just. Because for a long time I thought because I did it for you, like I wanted you to do it for me. Like I thought that was what you were supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just thought that was what you were supposed to do, to show me that you loved me.
Right. And in all likelihood, maybe that was something like you said you saw more of when you were growing up. Like
that's what it was.
And that was like a symbol of love, or at least that's what you thought it was.
That's what I thought it was. A symbol. I did. This was a breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like how. Wow.
I think for a lot of like couples,
wow,
not necessarily just couples, but just relationships, whatever the relationship is, I feel like when you really start learning somebody's love language and start learning like the deep rooted causes or the deep rooted beliefs of certain people's love language, it can get really, really deep because a lot of it does go back to like your childhood, how you were raised, and just your ideal belief system as far as how you were raised and how you grew up.
Everything that we've talked about, I feel like has something to do with that. Like it goes back. Like
yeah.
And how like my form of thinking.
And I believe Dr. Gary Chapman, he's the one that created like the love languages, the 5 love languages.
Yeah,
he's like a marriage counselor.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure he could and I'm sure he could tell you too if you read more from like some of his lectures and things that he's talked about,
Yeah.
he'll probably tell you that a lot of people's love languages probably comes from some type of like deep rooted childhood experience, you know. And as you continue to keep growing and you see that, you just kind of develop a belief system. Everybody has a
Yeah.
belief system.
Well,
So
because even to say that, like, I can remember even starting, like, you know, when I was in therapy and going to therapy, and the therapist would talk about, you know, especially going back, like she kept wanting to go back to the childhood stuff, and I'm like, why do we keep talking about
keep going.
that? Like, I want to talk about what is going on
What's
with me
happening
now.
today, right?
Yeah, and so like now I can see, like, especially like even just tying stuff like this in with each other, and it's just like it makes so much more sense to me now.
do.
Like, especially even with the kids, like I can remember us having that discussion, and you were just telling me, like, you have to be more like this, you have to say things like this, and it was just like, all this was new stuff, like stuff
Yeah.
that I have had to learn.
Yeah. Or
You
that
know?
right, you have to learn it because like you said, growing up you just didn't have the skill set or the understanding to even know what these things were or how to do them. I feel like people can like read it and you know what it is, but you don't know how to do it. Or you may feel uncomfortable doing it because you've never done it before.
Right.
And I feel like once you kind of get into a new habit of doing things, that's when you kind of make a breakthrough and it makes it comfortable for you to do those things.
Yeah.
You know?
Ugh.
Cause I used to be like that too. Even like getting you a gift, I would be so apprehensive about getting you something because I'll be like, I don't know if she gonna like it. Is she gonna like it?
Yeah.
Is this the right gift? You know what I mean? You get so much into your head about it because you know you just don't know how to do it, or
Yeah,
or you're
I
not
mean-
confident in doing it yet.
Yeah, but now, like, having planned all of this back now is like, don't do that. Like, what I thought I wanted, like, I wanted for the wrong reasons. You know, like,
Got you.
now, like, having a realization about some of this stuff, it's just like, I don't, you know, like, yeah, I don't know, like, receiving gifts, like, that's not something, like, even, like, damn, it I almost feel bad.
It's not
Because
necessarily
I felt like early on, like, that was a thing with me, like, hard. Like, when we first started talking, you know, because I did it a lot for you,
yeah.
and I would just
In
do
regard,
it.
yeah, in regards to just like the gift.
Yeah,
in
but
regards to
I
gifts,
did it because
absolutely.
I'm like, I just want to get him something just because, you know, I want my baby to have something. Like, I want him to have a nice shirt. I want him to have a cute outfit, or, you know, and I just thought that was something that would just make you happy, you know, and nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like we was fighting and I would go out and then go buy him something to make it better. It was like, I just did it.
You just
know?
did it exactly, but I guess over the years you saw that wasn't completely like my love language. Like I like it, you know, I love it, I
Yeah.
appreciate it, but like you said, baby, that's not on my top list. That's not at the top of my love language. You know,
We didn't talk about the acts of service. So when it comes to performing acts of service, here are 4 things that you can do. Pay attention to small things, what your partner wants to do on your next trip together, how much sugar your partner adds to their morning coffee, what time your partner's favorite show is on. Take notes if you can't remember. The second is consider the things your partner doesn't enjoy doing. If your partner complains about taking out trash, researching financial terms, cleaning the space between the wall and the dresser, or walking the dog, then you can do these tasks for your partner. If your partner doesn't like dealing with your cable company, offer to take responsibility for the monthly cable bill so that you can deal with it and handle it, and just like, because I feel like there's always a balance too in a relationship,
Gotta be.
right? Like, one of us is always gonna, you know, perhaps there's one that probably is more tech savvy, that's good with fixing the computers, that probably can fix all the problems in the house when something breaks, you know, so on and so forth, right? The car, getting the oil changed, going to go wash the car. And then there's the other one that knows how to make sure everything's paid on time. They make sure they log in to pay all the credit card bills, the
Right.
mortgage is paid. They make sure all the everything in between, behind the scenes, that never you seen the light of day of, is taken care of. And it's just like, when it comes to that stuff, you know, especially like if you lose a spouse or a partner, like suddenly, like, and they're gone, and it's just like you're left to pick up the pieces.
People don't even think about that.
You don't realize how much shit they did until they are not doing it. Focus on the acts that are easy for you to accommodate into your schedule. Pay attention to your partner's calendar each week and see if you can add in acts of service. Maybe your partner has limited time between their workout in the morning and their first meeting. Plan to have coffee and breakfast ready and waiting. And lastly, utilize your strengths. If you understand something your partner doesn't, offer your service. If you are more handy than your partner, for example, focus on the handyman task like changing your partner's oil or fixing the broken light bulb in the bathroom. I promise you I didn't even read that before I said that. Promise you I did not even read that. But I'm saying that to say like that's a perfect balance though. Like
It is.
and maybe it's something that they do all the time or often, where you can figure out a way to kind of wiggle your way in and do something for them that they don't. That's one less thing they have to take care of in the daytime. You know, like just that little bit.
Even when you watch like divorce court,
Yeah.
like, and you hear like them going on these rants about what you didn't do, what you don't do, and you know those are people that are like talking about like these acts of services as far as like just normal things like chores around the house,
Right, yeah.
Saturday breakfast or
Yeah. Thinking on it, like I feel like it also helps to create a very healthy balance in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because there's always something that one person's gonna lack that the other person can always pick up on and just do better. And lead by example. You know, like
Hell yeah.
if there's something that one person is lacking, like maybe you have to show them what that feels like, or show them, you know, how that feels to have someone do it for you, so that they pick up on, okay, well, he did this for me. Like when he come home today, I'm make sure I got this kitchen clean. I'm finna cook for him today. Like he
Because
gonna
that's
have
what he
dinner
like.
ready. Like,
right.
you know, that type of thing, and return the favor. Like just figure out a way, you know, and we, you know, at some point, like even when we would go and when I surprised you for your birthday and took you down there with the little whole picnic thing at the, at the lake, it was just like,
See, that was something I really appreciated a lot.
it was
real.
so
'Cause
small.
of the effort, yeah.
But I was like, I did it because I felt like I wanted to make you feel good and make you feel like you were somebody special to me and important to me. And just so you could have something, you know, to be like, dang, like my bae did that for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you were speaking my love language that day because you went and got me Chick-fil-A. I love some Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A in the basket.
You got me some flowers. You had got me some fruit,
some wine,
like all
everything
like,
that I know you like.
all the stuff that I like, you know.
Yeah.
So like you said, you are already reading the love language right there,
Yeah.
and you didn't even know it.
Yeah, man, this has definitely been
It's
like
been
an
eye-opening,
eye-opener.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought like we were gonna get on here and talk about, you know, each one of these and really kind of compare like our situation to this. But now like thinking back on it, like early on and even, you know, talking through this, like I feel like I definitely have I really need to just reanalyze like, you know, what it is that I really like, and really just work on trying to communicate better just in terms of things of like how I feel. Because now thinking back on it, even after this discussion, I'm like, I don't know, like maybe, you know, gifts and stuff like that. Like that ain't what I really want. Like that's not what I really want, you know, like, cause I feel like words of affirmation are important to me because they make me feel better. Like obviously for the obvious, right? You know, we don't have to go back there, but you know why, you know, and quality time probably more than anything are probably going to be my two top things. Like,
Gotcha.
And obviously, you know, that can include physical touch, because when you're spending quality time with somebody, you are trying to reconnect, like come back together and really get back on the same page again, especially when you're husband and wife, because it's easy to kind of get off that balance, especially when there's kids involved.
Exactly.
You know, like, because there's just so much going on, right? So when you have an opportunity to kind of pull yourself in and focus on nothing but each other. Take out everything, all the distractions, and just really spend that time with somebody. Like, it goes and it carries a very long way.
It will. And it carries a lot longer versus things that they're not really into.
Yeah. If you haven't communicated clearly what your love language is to your partner, then have that conversation. I would definitely encourage that. Like, just like this was for me very eye-opening. I feel like having that conversation and really communicating and sometimes that involves you having to really get into your feelings and really share how you feel about stuff, and it might get emotional. Don't expect or assume that they just know what it is that you want, because nobody's a mind reader unless you're a psychic.
Exactly.
And if you can't communicate that, write it down. If you don't know how to explain it, just say what it is that you want. Like, and maybe, figure it out from there. Talk through it. Like, I can't say that enough. Like, this has been really eye-opening for me because I really didn't tie all of that back like that.
I hope this conversation is eye-opening for a lot of people, because I feel like a lot of people sometimes miss the boat on this, and sometimes they don't even understand like the importance of what a love language is, or don't even really know, or haven't even really taken the time. Like, they might have heard of what love language is, but they've never taken the time to really like dive into it, to really understand it, and to even know how it can affect your partner, in a positive way.
Right. Yeah. And
or
don't
affect
wait
your
till
whole
it's too
relationship in a positive way.
Right.
Because if you wait, like you said,
Don't wait till
it's
late.
too late, because once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
What's that song?
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the song, but it was a song
I don't know.
where it was like, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's gone forever.
It's gone forever. Yeah. But I feel like this is definitely like a bridge in the gap type of episode. So I really enjoyed this show, y'all. And I hope y'all got something out of this as well. But
I really appreciate this conversation.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I really had to fight back some emotions on this. I'm not gonna lie. My little nose was over here. That's why I'm over here. My nose was running because how your nose started burning because you really getting emotional. Like, I get emotional thinking back on stuff like that. Like, I just didn't realize like how much childhood affected even with stuff like this, in our relationship. But these are things that we've talked about. So this is not just like a realization like right this very moment, but some of this was. It was. So again, just more things to talk about, more discoveries that we've opened up, and hopefully, like I said, y'all take something from this and chime in. Let us know what y'all think. And
hell yeah,
if y'all had this same conversation like with your partner or your husband or your wife or whoever, like, I need to know how it went for y'all. Like, how did y'all figure it out? Like, and once y'all figured it out, how did everything progress for y'all after that? Long term, short term, did it end? Was it because of a misunderstanding? Because I feel like people break up because they don't understand each other's love languages.
It's probably at the top of the list.
That's probably why.
And they don't even know.
Right.
But if they ended up going to like maybe like a counselor, marriage counselor, someone who specializes in relationships,
stuff like that,
they probably could have told them, this is where your relationship is fracturing at.
Right.
This is where y'all shortcomings are.
Woo!
So like you said, it's all about knowledge, and knowledge is power.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, smash the notification bell if y'all listening to us over on YouTube. And if you are on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, any other podcast platforms, make sure y'all chime in, leave us a review, comment down below, show us some love. Go ahead and sub and everything, and be here, download and all that stuff, y'all. Okay. Because right now, this is making us a little broke, okay? Because we not getting paid. So we need y'all support. Show us some love. And other than that, y'all, if ain't nobody else told y'all, I love y'all so much. Share love. Spread love. Hug somebody today. Give somebody some positive energy and love somebody, okay? Love them to life. So all that said, we out of here, y'all. We gonna see y'all next time. And shoot. That's a wrap.
Hell yeah, that's definitely a wrap.
Let's go.
Cut.
Bye.